Hello and welcome to another Writerly Witterings with me, Michael Jex, with a cup of excellent Earl Grey from Williamson's Tea. Very nice. Now, today I said I was going to talk about pencils. I have a lot of pencils. I like mechanical pencils when I'm doing detailed drawings. I like my Faber-Castell Perfect pencil because it's neat and it gets to the very bottom bits of pencil. You can still use it even when the pencil's almost completely gone. And of course it's got a pencil sharpener, which makes it ideal. But I'm not even sure you can get hold of this style of Perfect pencil anymore, which is a real shame because it was the only cost-effective one, I think, that they sold. But in addition to that, and mechanical pencils, I use a lot of clutch type pencils. So I have this excellent Wörther 300, which is a 2mm lead pencil. It's very, very tight always. It's quite difficult sometimes to get the lead to come out. That's an excellent pencil. I also have others. When I'm sketching, if I'm doing really big sketching, I use my E&M, which is another clutch pencil, which is huge. As you can see from the size of that lead, it's enormous and it's wonderful. But of course it's great for quick sketches, getting shapes and shading, and it's great for a lot of things, but it's not really perfect for detailed work. And that's why today I thought I'd talk about the pencil that's a very good all-rounder. And because there's not a lot to say about a pencil, I've also got some stuff about leather making, or leather working, if you're interested, which will follow on from this. So see you in a minute. So what have we got here? This is a Wörther Shorty. It's a hexagonal shaped pencil. It is really remarkably short. I would say, I need a ruler. For Americans, just about 4 inches long, and for Europeans, it is about 10.5 centimetres. And across it, I would say, let's see, that's about 1.5 centimetres wide, which is about half an inch, maybe a little bit over. How does it work? Well, it has a pocket clip, which is pretty much useless, to be honest. You can see there's quite a gap there, and when you see the gap there, you can see my hand clearly through there. So it doesn't really cling to shirts or anything, but I have it clipped to the outside of my trouser pocket, and it seems to sit there perfectly snugly. It's a mechanical pencil, a clutch type pencil, so when you press the top, the lead shoots out. Be aware of that. If you're walking across a field and you suddenly decide to do a sketch, you will lose the pencil lead. Not ideal. I know, I've done it. I have several clutch pencils. Here are 2 others. This is the Wörther clutch. It's a Wörther 300 and it uses a 2mm thick lead. There you go, 1 lead. Whoops, that's easier to see, isn't it? So I've got that. I've got one of these, an E&M 5.5mm pencil, which is equally lovely, another clutch pencil. But there is a big difference between these pencils. The E&M and the Wörther are not exactly costly, but they're certainly not cheap. This is £7 plus, plus a little bit, but it's not a huge amount. But they are ridiculously cheap. They come in multiple colours. They're hexagonal, so they won't fall off your desk, unlike the E&M, which will. You can put it down and be safe. It is a lovely pencil to use. Now, what do I use it for? Well, when I'm out and about, I will tend to always have a sketchbook with me. I will make sometimes watercolour sketches. I will sometimes do little outline sketches of buildings, or I'll do other watercolour sketches or other sketches of a high street or something, I'll just sketch and play as I'm out and about, because it fixes a scene in your mind. It fixes a view. It is better, I find, to have a certain amount of sketching material with you wherever you go, and then you can always, if you've got time, you can do a watercolour. If you haven't got time, you can just do some sketches of people, just get an idea of what the scenery was like. So I always have a little A5 book like this which I'll carry around with me, and I'll do sketches of people, I'll do sketches of people playing sports. Here's a load of cricketers, more cricketers, and I just find, that was New Zealand last year, it's very nice. That was an island just off New Zealand. It's much more effective at fixing a scene in your mind than just taking a quick snapshot with a camera, because you actually have to analyse the scene when you're going out and about. So I will always carry some sort of pencil with me. Often it'll just be my Faber-Castell Perfect pencil, because it is a beautiful pencil. But with a 2mm lead or a 5.5mm lead, you get lots of different effects. Right, the 5.5mm is wonderful for quick shading. Blasted flies back again. But the Shorty is a really good compromise between the two, between the 2mm and the 5mm. I find that the Shorty is just convenient. It doesn't matter if you want to have fine lines, because all you do is you rotate the lead as you use it and you get the finer lines. But then if you want to, you can use the flatter part of the lead to get a lot of shading, and you can double up on the shading, which gives you a certain amount of texture and feel for what it is that you're drawing. So I find the Shorty, especially because they're only £7, to be one of the best possible pencils. That's my view, I'm sticking to it. And what do I like about these clutch pencils? Pencils? Well, one thing is, there's a huge variety of different leads you can get for them. So here's my 6B leads that I use in the Wörther. I've got some 5.6mm leads which are ideal for the E&M, and I've actually run out of leads for the Kaweco, which says something. One thing I would say is that you can also get a variety of different types of lead. So for example, you can get highlighter leads that will fit in these different pencils. So clutch pencils are very useful because they do give you a wide variety of different types of texture and sketching ability, and they're very convenient to just carry around with you. This, I think, is one of my favourite pencils, and the great thing about it is it's also one of the cheapest, because they only cost £7 and something. They're very, very reasonably priced indeed, so it's not as if they're an outrageous sum of money. And another nice thing is that you can get all different colours. So Wörther make these in red, blue, green, yellow, all types of colour. So really, depending on what you're looking for, there is almost certainly one that will suit you. I really love these pencils. I think they're great. I like all sketching pencils on principle, but these, I think, are some of the best that you can possibly get. Now, leatherworking. I did say I would have a quick chat about something I'm doing right now. Some years ago, I was asked to go and give some talks at a castle in Kent during a medieval weekend, and I thought it would be rather nice to make myself my own water flask. So I built this with a Templar cross, you'll see, because I was talking about Baldwin and Simon, my two main characters from the Templar series, and I built this leather costrel, which is still something I'm rather proud of because it works really well. It holds water, doesn't leak, holds beer too if I want it to, and it's very, very effective. It's nice. Many, many years ago, about 30 years ago, my wife bought me this, which is an old-fashioned medieval style tankard. It's all leather, stitched up the back, stitched around the bottom, and sealed inside with pine pitch, pine resin, which is boiled up and then forms a good impermeable surface. This has gone with me to many pubs dancing Morris. The trouble is, it's been squashed a few times, and the good thing is, with leather you can just put it back into shape, run a small flamethrower or something on the inside, and it'll reseal the pitch, cover up any cracks so you don't get leaks. It's wonderful. But it is getting a bit old, and I thought I'd build a new one. So last week I spoke to a very nice man over the road who makes harnesses for horses, and he had some spare bits of leather, and he let me have 2 of these pieces and a bunch of strappy pieces. So one of them I've already cut down, and I've tested my concept by moulding a sheet of leather into the right sort of shape. I've also taken 2 discs of leather which will form the bottom of a tankard. I'm going to have this piece of leather curved round so that this was the top part of this leather. I just cut it off to make sure that it would actually bend and hold its shape properly, and as you can see it does. So that's good. The next thing will be to bend this piece of leather into the right shape, cut it down to size a little bit, because as you can see it's just a little bit too large. I need it to be about 3 inches diameter at the top basically, and then I'm going to have to punch down the sides and punch along the bottom, and I think what I'll do is I will make the holes in the bases once I've smoothed it all off, so it's going to be watertight. Make some holes in the bases, and then I will try to see how to make them align with holes in the top here, because the trouble is obviously that the holes here will be close, the holes here will be wider apart because the stitching will go in towards this, if that makes sense. I've already started moulding the handles. These are not quite done yet, because as you can see what they really need is to be brought very closely together, but they'll get there, they'll get there. And then that will be one handle, and a friend of mine also wants a leather tankard, so he's going to have a second handle here. So there you go. Hopefully before long I'll have 2 tankards, and they can join my old costrel, my medieval costrel, when I go out Morris dancing or giving talks. So there you are, one absolutely wonderful little pencil, looking as I am at Cult Pen's little listing. It is £7.25 for a Wörther Shorty pencil. That was the dog talking, not me. And the replacement leads are £4 for a Kaveco style, which gives you 6, I think, leads per pack. And they're long leads, so it probably means you'd have 12 refills for this, which is not bad. So for £11 you've got about 12 refills and a lead holder. You can't really beat that sort of price. And at the same time you've had the excitement of seeing me talking about my old drinks bottle. Amazing just how hard leather can go when it's been properly sealed and heat treated with oil and water. Smothered in beeswax on the inside so it doesn't leak. And it smells of beeswax. And of course I've also been talking about my old tankard and my new ones to come. What an exciting time this has been. Don't forget, like it, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share it, tell your friends if they're interested in leatherworking or pencils, and then maybe I'll get some more followers. You never know. That'll be quite nice. In the meantime, next time, I'm going to be talking about something else. I've no idea what it'll be right now. It's nice just now, though. It's sunny outside, and now I've got to edit this video and then get back to editing that novel. Hey-ho, it's all go. Take care of yourselves. Thanks a lot for watching, and speak to you soon. Take care. Bye. And now for that fly.